On my side, I'm very honored to have John Richmond here, a very well-known designer in his own right, with a long pedigree, a long history, and who has embarked on something rather new. And that is something that we want to focus on in this brief talk, which I'm really delighted that you are here. So tell us a bit about what's happened over the last 6 months, and then we take it from there.
I think approximately, it's a year and a half ago,
yes.
2 years now. I stopped working with my previous partners, manufacturers, and was able to take back control, fortunately, of the John Richmond name.
Yes.
As you can imagine, it was all tied up legally with trademarks, etc. But now I have control of the John Richmond trademark.
That can be quite a tedious process. I hope it went swimmingly and you didn't have too many problems.
There's always problems.
Yes.
If you're a designer, you don't really want to take care of legal things.
Yes, exactly.
But you have to.
Yes.
So we managed to take care of that. And so the past year was spent almost finding new partners. Immediately I found I continued actually, not new, with the people I always did shoes with, a company called Zengarini, very strong company, a company I'd worked with for 13 years, so we have a great relationship, and it's always very difficult to start with new people because they don't know you. It takes time. They don't. When you've been working with somebody 13 years, you put a scribble on a piece of paper, and they understand what that scribble is.
And there's a degree of trust. And
yes. When I say I need it like this, they know what I mean because I've already done it before. So it was really nice to continue with them. We signed a license with the bags company in Bergamo, company Della Pelle, and also with the scarves with Montero. Montero, probably one of the top companies. Very nice people. So, and then the clothing is more difficult because we had to speak to many people to find the right partner. Because I wanted to find the right partner that really understood my philosophy. Because I think, personally, the world has changed a lot in a very short space of time. The internet revolution, which seems to be happened over 15 years, was sort of almost equivalent to the Industrial Revolution, which was 150 years. So we've seen incredible change in our lifetime, and I think that applies also to fashion as well.
And that is, if I may interrupt, you watch this development, you watch what has happened over the last 10-15 years. Is it your instinct as a designer that you want to get really back into design in order to express what's happening? Did you have in the last few years not enough times for really working on the design side of things, or is that not that important?
No, I've always been heavily involved in design. I'd go as far as to say people think of me as a bit of a megalomaniac because I want to see. I want to see everything. I want to
really go
everything.
into detail.
I always believe that I have to be first in the office and last out of the office. But I think the world has changed, and I want to. My thoughts going forward is to produce collections which are special but are much more affordable. I think it's important that you're not just up there and you're there for the shop window. Even before, when I started, my background is that I grew up in Manchester, very working class, and clothes was something you went and bought. That clothes to me were never something you went and looked at in the shop window and admired. It was always I bought clothes to dress up, and that always stuck with me, and it's how I want my collections to be. So it was very important to find partners who had that mentality. And the people I've started working with, Arab, a very large company. They produce hundreds of thousands of pieces. They have production all over the world. But they also understand the designer part, that something has to be special. But you can marry the two. I don't think there's been enough marrying of the two.
I see. And But you're now here basically because of children's fashion. So that's the first baby, so to speak, that you're focusing on.
Yeah.
Has that always been clear? Because obviously you want to go into, man fashion as well, or ladies fashion, but you deliberately started with the children's range, so to speak?
It wasn't a deliberate decision. It's just something. It was a squirk in a way.
Yeah.
There's no real reason for it. It was just we'd started working on the children's license.
Yes.
So we'd signed a license with them first, and then the others fell into place.
Yeah. Because then I have to, really change my questions as we speak, because you're a designer, your approach is completely different. At the same time, you're a businessman. But for me, asking questions all the time about, we touched on it a bit earlier, the commercial things, strategy, markets, import, export, production, etc. You are really coming now, kind of, from you're going at the roots of things. You seem to sense certain something that's happening or that has happened over the last few years and is still happening, and this seems to be driving you towards a new collection, a new way of thinking, possibly, and incorporating certain ideas, like make it affordable.
I think also the way you can communicate.
Yes.
It's very. I think some people, don't welcome change because they just like things to go on. But I think most designers, like change because it changes their day. People say to me about my job, and I say I love what I do because I go to the office tomorrow and I have a clean piece of paper in front of me. If another person goes to the office and does the same thing,
sees the old Excel sheet.
And the day after I'll have another clean sheet of paper. So every day is new and fresh. And I think the way the internet has changed the market is interesting too. Do I think it's good or bad? It's irrelevant. It's just the way it is.
It is bad.
And you have to work with what's happening in the world.
But are you interested in, because you mentioned earlier that you are, fastidious and that you want to see everything, does that apply to, how your new label or brand is being represented online and possibly in print? So you keep a very clear eye on that as well.
We have a delay in the website because I'm not
because of you.
I won't say pass it off. I say no. It's not right.
That's terrible.
But
that's how it is.
When it's
and
right, it'll work.
Yes.
And I say, there's no point going out because you want to go out quickly. You go out when it's right. And you get more success when it's right than when it's wrong.
Absolutely. Tell me, now we are here, Pitti Bimbo, very well established, leading international trade fair for children's fashion. When you go around here, what strikes you? What makes you think? What are your impressions as a designer, as a creative person?
Well, it's strange as a creative person, you go around and you've seen what you've been doing for some time, and it almost feels a bit boring what you're doing, and you might just catch something with the corner of your eye. It's like, oh, that was nice. So everything looks nicer than yours almost. And you look at people, because I designed the stands as well.
Oh, okay.
So, and you look at people and it's like, oh, I should have done that. But that's just as a designer, you soak ideas. But that's fun to do. It's enjoyable.
Well, it's quite enriching, isn't it?
It's there's a lot of creativity out there, and and you have to enjoy everyone else's creativity, not be jealous of it or something. It's like, I really like that.
But that's something anyway about, I guess, British-born talent, that they've always been very open in a way. It seems to be so.
I think it's more prevalent to British. I don't know why. We're not precious about this is mine and it always has to be mine, or this is my way and that's where we're sort of an island. We have no cuisine. If you say what's British cuisine, it's like, well, it's Japanese, it's Indian, we have everything. And it's like our language has everything. It has more words than any other language because it uses everyone else's as well. And it's like because we're not precious. We can enjoy everybody's.
You're extremely polite, listening to all these foreigners, talking, English, sometimes in a rather bad way.
So I think that English has become an important language because of that. It's a completely bastardized language.
But coming back to your work, are you based in England or whereabouts in England?
The design office is based in London.
Yes.
Because it's important. The things that you're around physically really influence you. You know, it's not possible to do what I do. You know, everyone says I'm very rock and roll, which I am. My DNA comes from, you know, I grew up in the 70s, you know, and I learnt about fashion, not from magazines, but from watching Top of the Pops, which was a music program, Top of the Pops and Oh Grey Russell Test. We only had two in the 70s.
So you watched them, you saw what they were, the war.
It was from music that I learnt about fashion. It was from David Bowie, Mark Bolan, Roxy Music, you know, and then punk, and then, you know, new wave. This is because they were all very connected with fashion, and that's, to me, that's what fashion was. So that's just part of my blood. So anything I do, that's my DNA.
So you need to be in a conurbation like London in order to pick up influences to see. You just see and feel what's happening.
If you sat on a beach, you're not going to be very rock and roll. You'll be very nice, and you design a different type of garment. You know, if you sat in London and, you know, you have all this energy around you, and it's raining, and it's, you know, the physicality really changes the way you design. You know, sometimes I often get these people who do the artworks for me. You know, I get them to hold the pen in a different way.
Okay, why is that?
Because it changes the way you draw, and it takes you out of your comfort zone. You know, I don't know if you know Brian Eno. You know Brian Eno, the musician.
Yes.
You know, he created a set of cards for recording.
Oh, really? I don't know that.
I've forgotten the name now. And because he's a producer, so if the recordings are not going well, or not, they sort of come to a block, he'll deal out a card, and it will say, go to the worst bit of the song that you're recording, and try that again. So it's or take your fingers up and play the guitar with your fingers taped up. Because the physical will change what you do. And that's and I always thought that was really interesting. You know, you put people in a different environment to change their mindset. If you're in the same place, you don't. You're just in the comfort zone, and you don't move.
I agree. I know exactly what you mean. It may be a bit unsettling for the people who, you know, whose bag you are on, but it's very good for the process. Absolutely, no question. So, you know, when you walk about here, you know, we see lots of new labels or young labels, put it this way, you know, who just started. And what would your piece of advice be, you know, with your experience? You know, because they are funny, you know, not funnily enough, but, you know, the children's fashion is quite a competitive or a very difficult area. And still, wonderfully, lots of young people, you know, try to set up a new label and are very energetic and enthusiastic about it. But sometimes, perhaps too enthusiastic. You've got the advantage of experience. So what would you say? You know, maybe a stupid question, but what would you advise?
Well, the first thing when people ask me, you know, students or about going into business or, you know, being a designer, is that there is no substitution for hard work. You know, what you put in, you get out. I think that might be more because I'm, you know, my Catholic upbringing. You know, sort of guilt if you have to work hard. But I've always adopted that. You know, I'm always the first into the office and last out. You know, I actually feel guilty if I leave in the afternoon and, you know, everyone's working. I think also because in the 90s, I actually had my own factory.
Really?
So when you have a factory is a very different animal.
Absolutely.
It's only a small factory, there's about 40 people.
But so?
So I was there, you know, the factory start early, so I'd be in work at 7:30 to open the factory, you know, and you have to, people have to work, you know, not they have to work, you have to provide them with work because
exactly,
you make the factory work, and at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock when the factory closed, then I could do my work. So I'd be designing, you know, from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock.
Oh dear. That sounds like a long day.
It was. But even when I started, I remember when I first started, I was making the samples. So I'd get up at 7, cut the patterns, cut the code, sew the samples, work till 12, jump out of bed again at 6 or 7, start again.
So did you actually learn the trade of sewing?
I did.
I see, okay. Yeah. Which obviously is
a slight difference because I did learn every process.
Okay, yes, that's important. Important for me to understand actually where you're coming from.
I suppose in retrospect I was very fortunate because when you work with a larger company where you can't be involved in every process, you need to having an understanding of every process gives you a big advantage.
Yes,
so you have to keep your eyes open. You know, advice I'd give to anybody is, you know, if you get an internship and you're making coffee, actually you can learn a lot. Just learn by listening.
Yes.
You know, you're giving the coffee to somebody. Look at what they're doing. Listen to what they're doing, and then you go to the next desk who's doing something else. So you listen to what they're doing. You see what they're doing. You can actually learn a lot just by listening and looking. And don't think I'm just making the coffee because you're actually in the environment.
You're there. To round things off, so what's the next step for you? So you're here now, you know, the range is being devised and being developed.
We've launched the children's wear this week. It's early in the day to say it's been a great success, but you know, it's been a fantastic first day. It really has. You know, when I said the press that we visited have been very positive, clients are very positive, so you can take great strength from the first day. Now we have a capsule collection launching in February, and then the main collection, men's and women's, launches the show will be in September. We actually start selling in June. So, So I'm working already on the first men's and women's John Richmond collection since the break. Next year we'll open the next John Richmond shop, or the first new John Richmond shop. So it's very exciting, but I have good new partners who are very positive, who believe.
It sounds indeed very exciting. Lovely. Thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best, and I hope you stay in contact. I would love to, you know, continue this talk because it's fascinating, really, especially, you know, looking at the background and how you moved on, and especially against the background how things have changed in the industry and how you are kind of picking this up and using this as an opportunity to do things.
The world has changed in that, you know, we spoke before about Germany, France, etc. But I don't think countries really exist anymore. I think, especially in the world of fashion, people don't speak about Germany, they speak about Italy, they talk about Milan, New York, Paris, Berlin, London. People talk, it's almost like we're one world. Disregard Brexit, because that was a stupid mistake. I apologise for that.
No, you don't need to. I think it's actually, you know, since we touch on it, you know, there's a club and every member has a right to join or to leave. So that's absolutely right. But anyway, yes, I understand the point. It's in a way we are growing together, obviously, because of the digital advances, etc. And fashion is not without reason. Fashion is, you know, the item
fashion is without borders.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
We're all one big world that goes from New York to Paris to London.
Absolutely.
But the world has become that, I think.
Yeah, wonderful. John, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Okay.